Hey everyone, we've got a few new things in eFootball today, the most exciting of which is this new Coming Soon campaign. So there are 5 legends we can potentially get for free. I say potentially, don't get too excited. This isn't any kind of guarantee. These legends are in a 50 player pack. The rest of the players are just regular GP players. So the way it works is we're basically going to get a free spin every day for 2 weeks. And then there are 4 free spins we can also get from the campaign objectives for winning matches. So that's a total of 18 free spins if my maths is correct. So 50 player pack, 18 free spins, and there are 5 legends in there, so there's a very good chance we're going to get 1 or more free legends. So that's pretty exciting, I think, for most people, unless you've already got 4 out of the 5, in which case, not so exciting. Another campaign they've added today, Corinthians Foundation Anniversary campaign. So you're going to get 3 free spins on this 5-player pack. They've done similar ones with partner clubs like Inter and Barca and stuff. It's another one of these where there's 5 in there, you get 3 free spins, and then presumably once you've done your free spins, if you want the last 2, you can use coins to get them. Not the most exciting one. You can see the maximum overalls here. There's only 1 5-star, and he only goes to 92, so it's not the most exciting pack. I might do a video reviewing these players, see how good they actually are, if any of them are actually usable, but yeah, they're free though, so can't complain. Potentially 5 players you can get there, 3 of them for free. And we do get this nice kit as well. It's a pretty nice free kit that we get there. So yeah, that's not too bad. It's better than nothing. Speaking of new kits, Man United's new 3rd kit has been added to the game. It's another nice new kit from Adidas that. I've been doing some nice stuff this season. And Calafiori's face has been added to the game. I was expecting that to be added for the new update, but I guess they've added that sooner because they put him in that new Showtime pack. And the most exciting addition they've made today, in the eFootball point store, they have added absolutely nothing. What an absolute shambles. 19,400 points going to waste. Thanks, Konami. So, with all that said, let's go on to Player of the Week. As always, I'll put timestamps in the description for each player, so if there's a particular player you want to hear about, click on the description, there'll be a link to take you straight to them. And this week, quite generously, they've not given us any 4-stars, all 5-star players this week. So let's look at what we got, and we will start with the hat-trick hero, Fred. So Fred got a hat-trick for Fenerbahce. He's got the same positions and playing style box-to-box that he normally does. He's got his face scan there as always. Compared to previous versions of Fred, we've had 1 trainable version that went up to 92. That was in a Turkish League pack, so similar one to this, but obviously you could train that one, so I think that makes that one a bit better. We've had a bunch of 91 rated ones from when he was at Man United, and we've also had a previous player of the week that also went to 92. The main difference between this one and that one, the attributes pretty similar on the whole, obviously went to the same level, but the main difference was that one had weighted pass, but it's been swapped out for knuckle shot on this one. They've also taken away gamesmanship from his GP card and given him long range shooting, not surprisingly. The first goal that he scored out of his hat-trick was a swerving shot. It looked like it was going bottom corner. It just swerved viciously back to the middle and caught the keeper out completely. So no surprises, he got knuckle shot, long way shooting there. But yeah, 1-touch passes he always has. Then outside curler, low off the pass, interception, slide and tackle, fighting spirit. He's got a good searching skills for a centre mid. He's missing through passing for a midfielder, centre midfielder. I think through passing is an important one. So he is missing that skill. But apart from that, pretty good selection. Compared to his GP card, for some reason his lofted pass has been nerfed a bit, but naturally they've increased his finishing. They've given him a decent boost on that from his GP card, but still only 64. I mean, for a guy who's got a hat-trick, surely you can give him at least 70 for finishing. Seems a bit stingy to me. But outside of that, not a lot of difference, except down the right hand side, some of these athletic ones from acceleration down to balance, he's had a bit of a boost down there as well. So yeah, it's a nice boost from his GP card. It's a decent version of Fred. We've had similar versions before though in the past, so if you've got a good version of him from a previous pack, then you might not need this one. But on the whole, got decent pace for centre mid, decent kicking power, balance is pretty good, stamina's good, defensive awareness isn't great, but the rest of the defense is, well, I mean, tackling is not great either, is it actually? So he's kind of okay defensively, not brilliant, tidy enough on the ball, decent passing, but he doesn't have through passing. Yeah, he's an all right card. It's not a brilliant one. If he had even if he had through passing, it wouldn't be a brilliant card. But he's got some ability here. I think he's usable, but I don't think I'd say he's much better than usable. I think he'd be a decent option to have in your squad, maybe it's for a lot of people. But yeah, I think anyone's been playing the game a while. He got decent sentiment options. He's probably not going to be getting into your team anytime soon. But yeah, for Man U fans, for Fenerbahce fans, could be a fun one to have. It's a decent version of Fred, but it's not an amazing card on the whole. Now we have our goalkeeper. We've got Milinković-Savić with his excellent beard. So defensive goalkeeper, inconsistent form, bit of a shame that. We have had a couple of trainable versions of Milinković-Savić. One went to 92, one went to 93, but even the one that went to 93, you've got to keep in mind with these Player of the Week cards, they nerfed the jumping on goalies. I know I always rant about that. I'll never stop ranting about it until I stop doing it. But my point is that on the trainable ones, they don't do that. So on the one that went to 93, you would think it'd be better than this one, with this one only going to 92 or being 92. But with the jumping being a lot higher on that card, it balances out, and those core goalkeeping attributes are actually a bit worse on that trainable one. So this isn't necessarily a worse card than that one. It's actually, in my opinion, better, certainly based on these core goalkeeping attributes. But yeah, we've had a couple of Player of the Week versions previously of this guy. 192 is very similar to this. 190, which obviously wasn't as good. The one that was 92, the same rating as this one, was virtually identical. The only difference was that it had 3 higher for catching, but this one's got 3 higher for reach. So basically, if you got that previous version of Milinković-Savić, the 92 rated Player of the Week, they've taken 3 points from catching and put 1 reach, and that's it. Apart from that, it's an identical card, although they have given this one a penalty saver. I don't think that one had penalty saver. It might have done, I might be wrong, but yeah, low punt, high punt, long throw, penalty saver. Good selection skills for a keeper. He's very tall, and he's got 90 reach, so this guy's coverage is going to be fantastic. The reflexes are okay at 86. Catching and parrying, not brilliant, but the awareness at 82. You're going to want a lot more than that on a goalie. So yeah, is it usable? Maybe, but I think it's just another one of these cards that if you're new to the game, you don't have many goalkeeping options, he'd be useful for you in that case. Outside of that, or unless you're Serbian or you're a Torino fan, I don't think many people are going to really want this guy, because 82 goalkeeper awareness, I've got 3-star goalies who've all got better awareness than that. It's really not great. So it's not a brilliant goalkeeper card. He's only just a 5-star at 92, but he does have some quality. Like I say, great coverage, the reflexes are all right, and he's got an absolutely fantastic beard. So he's got some qualities there, but yeah, like I say, he's far from being an elite level keeper. So for a lot of people, he probably isn't going to quite make the grade, but he could do a lot worse. And so it could be one of those ones for the Italian League Challenge. Could be worth keeping hold of for that if you get him. So yeah, there are some reasons to keep this guy, but sadly, the main reason is his beard, really. Now this one's very interesting. So I predicted this guy the last couple of weeks because I had a feeling they might put him in, not just for his performances, but because it would be a very interesting card. This guy Galeno is normally a left winger, but he's been playing at left back for Porto, and he's obviously a very attacking left back if he is normally a winger. So got some unwavering form, that's good. Got a face scan. He's a right footer playing on the left. He's somewhat two-footed, but I don't think he's got outside curler, so I'm not sure how comfortable he'll be on the left. You're going to be cutting inside quite a lot, so yeah, there's no outside curler. What they've done with the skills, they have added acrobatic finishing, first time shot. Not surprising, he's got a lovely volley right at the start of the game, seconds into the game. Is a nice goal, that worth checking out. They've also given him interception. They don't always do that on attacking fullbacks, so that's good. They've given him interception, so that makes him more usable. It doesn't have pinpoint crossing. You usually want that on an attacking fullback, but if he's right footed, he's not too great on his left foot. I don't think you're going to be running to put too many crosses in, on his left foot. Anyways, you're going to be cutting inside anyways. If you cut inside in attacking positions, you're going to probably want to shoot, because long range curler, long range shooting, acrobatic finishing, first time shot, 82 finishing. I think you're going to want to shoot rather than cross with this guy, because he certainly looks very capable of scoring goals. So yeah, looking at him, I mean, compared to previous versions, we've had a few previous Player of the Week ones. I got one from one of those Champions League packs. Pretty similar, to be honest. There's not a great difference between the previous ones and this one. Obviously, this one's not quite as good technically, although he's got a bit more product than some of those previous ones, certainly with passing, but he's a lot better defensively, as you would expect. So yeah, it's a decent version compared to previous ones. I don't think we've had a trainable one, to be honest. These ones obviously aren't trainable. Playing style has obviously been changed. He's normally a prolific winger. He's an attacking fullback, and they've of course added the left back position. What else they changed? In terms of the attributes, his physicals are up a little bit. His passing and shooting have naturally had a nice boost. His defending obviously has had a big boost, really big boost, massive boost. In fact, some of these up by 20 something. So yeah, very different to what you normally expect from Galeno. It's an interesting one. Looking at it in isolation though, where are you going to play him? Are you going to use him as an attacking fullback? He could be a fun option as an attacking fullback. He's certainly got the pace. He's got reasonable kicking power. Physical and balance are a little bit lacking there. That's a bit of a shame. I think you're going to find he's a bit lacking in that area. Stamina's okay. Those are pretty much borderline, that stamina for me. I think he'll just about be okay. But if you are bombing up and down that left flank, maybe he will get a bit tired late in the game. Keep an eye on that if you start him. Defensively, he might have had a massive boost to what he's normally like defensively, but he's not great defensively. He does have interception, and he's got some kind of okay-ish stats there. But if you like your fullbacks to be primarily good at defending, he's probably not going to be your cup of tea. But certainly he could be worse. He's just about usable, I think, defensively. On the ball, he's normally a winger, so as you'd expect, he's all right there. As a fullback, he's pretty good. Low enough to pass, a bit lacking. Even as a fullback, they're a bit lacking, so be careful. Don't ask too much of him with his passing or his crossing. As I mentioned, he's not got pinpoint crossing. He's not got any passing skills either, so his passing and crossing will be lacking. Be careful. Don't ask too much of him. Finishing, as I mentioned, is great for a fullback. So, yeah, as a very, very, very attacking fullback, he could be a fun one. You're going to need to cut inside with his right foot a lot, but he could be a fun one as an attacking fullback. If you use him as a winger, still looks pretty usable as a winger. They've not nerfed him too badly as a winger, so he's still pretty tidy on the ball. Again, the low and off the pass aren't great, but if you play him as a winger and you get him into attacking positions more than he would as a fullback, you're just going to want to shoot with this guy because you've got a shot on him. He's clearly got the pace. The balance is a shame. It's the same with the version that I've got of him from the Champions League pack. He's not got great balance. You do notice that at times, so that is a downside. But yeah, I don't think I'd use him on the right. He can't cross it. He's a right footer. So I think this guy really, he's someone he could use as a left winger. He could be decent as a left winger. Not amazing, like I say, the balance. He's not that great on the ball. His passing is not brilliant, but with the pace, bit of dribbling ability, and certainly the shooting, he's usable as a winger and as a very attacking fullback. He could be a fun one. Like I say, though, if you like your fullbacks to be primarily defensively strong, he's not going to suit you. But if you just like attacking fullbacks, you're playing for fun. And especially if it's in the second half and you got him on the bench and you're trying to, you're losing the game, you need a goal. Putting this guy on as a left back, doubling up with your left winger, that could cause some serious problems for your opponent with this guy's attacking ability. So yeah, as an out-and-out fullback, certainly defensively, he might not quite make the grade for a lot of people, but he could certainly be a fun option for some people. And I think especially for Porto fans, is a slightly different version of Galeno. I say slightly, a very different version of Galeno to what we've had previously. It could be a really fun one to have. So yeah, could be a fun card for quite a few people. And speaking of fun cards for quite a few people, I think a lot of people are going to be quite excited for this one. So we've got our first featured version of Endrick. They recently added his face scan, as you can see. He's normally a deep lying forward. His GP card is a 3-star deep lying forward card. We've now got a Fox in the Box 5-star card. He's only just a 5-star though. I predicted he'd be in as a 4-star. He's just about a 5-star, so I wasn't far off. In terms of the attributes, they give him a nice boost from his GP card, but they've actually nerfed his dexterity a bit. So his attacking awareness crucially is down a bit. Likewise, his balance and his acceleration. They've taken a bit off all three of those attributes. 3 crucial attributes for a striker. Why would you reduce them on a Player of the Week card? It's just really annoying. But outside of that, they have boosted the rest. So going from a 3-star to a 5-star card, as you would expect, they have obviously boosted him quite a bit. It's a significantly improved version of him compared to his GP card. For me personally, it's a matter of preference, but just from his play style alone, it's a nice boost because I don't like deep lying forward. Fox in the Box is much better for me. They have also boosted his weaker foot accuracies right up to very high, so that's worth keeping an eye on as well. So he's much more to it than he normally is. In terms of his skills, they've taken away Rabona, but they've added long range shooting. They've made him a super sub, of course, and they've added fighting spirit as well. So we've got a pretty nice section of skills in the striker now. We've got heading there, first time shot, acrobatic finishing. They've added long range shooting, and he's a super sub. A few skill moves as well there. It's a decent little striker. Just looking at it in isolation, yes, it's a nice boost from his GP card, but like I say, the dexterity, his attacking awareness especially, 82 attacking awareness and a 5-star striker. That's not great. It's really not great. I would want it to be at least in the mid-80s. He's tidy enough on the ball though. That low pass will hit 70 with a game plan boost, so that's just about okay. Finishing 86 is decent enough. Pace is decent enough. Kicking power is pretty decent. They have nerfed his balance, but it's still over 80 at least. So, yeah, he's pretty much what I expected. It's a decent card. It's just not an amazing one. They've kind of made him decent enough in almost every area. Just the attacking awareness for me is the one where it's really not good enough. But on the whole, yeah, like I say, I expected they'd make a version of Endrick that would be decent, but with plenty of scope for releasing better versions in the future. So it's decent enough that I think a lot of people will be quite keen to get this guy. But like I say, there are going to be better versions of Endrick probably over the course of this season, certainly over the course of the many years now. He's only 17, he's got a lot of years ahead of him, so there will be better versions, and it could be better in some ways, especially with the attacking awareness, but it's an interesting version of him, and I think a lot of people will probably be very keen to pick this guy up. But it's like I say, there will be better versions. Not a brilliant card, but it's a featured Endrick. I think just for that reason alone, a lot of people will be very keen to get this guy. And now we have another version of Marcos Llorente. We've had quite a few. So attacking fullback this time. Normally he's a centre mid. Got his face scan, of course. Normally box to box centre midfield. We've had a few versions. We had a player of the week version that was a striker, goal poacher. Now we've got a right back version, but he does always have right back as a position though. You can train him as a right back. If you look at other versions of Llorente, the previous trainable versions they've released, kind of special highlight cards, you can make them pretty similar to this in terms of the attributes, so it's not too different to previous cards of Llorente, to be honest. And bear in mind as well, we can now retrain players for free. They're not charging GP for that anymore. That's gone. So if you've got a previous trainable version of Llorente, and if you want to use him as a right back, you can already make the one you've got as good as this. It's pretty much the same. Obviously the cards do vary a bit, but generally speaking, pretty much all the previous trainable versions can be made about the same as this card. And even the GP card, to be honest, if you look at his GP card and you train the GP card of Llorente as a right back, it's not far off. So to be honest, it's not a bad card, but it's not that interesting compared to other versions. Even his GP card, there's not a lot about this card that really excites me. But is it a good card? Yeah, it's not a bad one. So he's versatile, of course, as he always is. But let's quickly look through the positions. Are you going to use him as a centre midfielder with 81 low pass? Not for me, especially without one-touch pass. He doesn't have one-touch pass. He rarely does. He's got through passing, but with only 81 low pass, no one-touch pass, for me, he's not a centre midfielder. And also, as often is the case, physical contact and balance both a little bit lacking. So for this guy to be in the middle of the park for me, I think he's going to come up short. As an SS with the attacking awareness being as low as it is, not having better technical ability, that's an absolute non-starter for me. So I'm looking at the right flank. Are you going to play him as a right midfielder? 80 lofted pass. He doesn't have pinpoint crossing. I think that's a no. I think this guy is just a right back. He's got interception, trap back, man marking, fighting spirit, some good defensive skills for a fullback. Doesn't have pinpoint crossing, as I mentioned. That's a bit of a shame, but he does have through passing, and then he's got first time shot, long range shooting, rising shot, long range curler. As you'd expect, really, because he scored an absolute banger of a goal. If you've not seen it, do check it out. He picked it up on the halfway line. He ran forward, no one tackled him, so he just kept running forward and absolutely wellied it straight over the goalkeeper's head. Flew into the back of the net. It was a great strike. But yeah, they've added, which of these shooting skills are new? Rising shot and long range shooting. Yeah, so that makes sense based on the goal he scored. So we've got a bunch of shooting skills there if he does get forward. The ones they've taken away to make room are cut behind and turn and dipping shot. So yeah, not a bad trade. Don't think it makes a huge amount of difference, to be honest. But yeah, as an attacking fullback, lacking pinpoint crossing, but apart from that, it's a pretty solid card. The pace is pretty good. Kicking power is good. As I mentioned, he's a bit lacking with the balance, especially as a fullback. I think 70 is okay. You can get away with that. Stamina 91 is good. He always has good stamina. Llorente. The defensive attributes aren't brilliant. I always like them. I like to aim for 80 plus on these on a fullback. So he's a little bit lacking with the awareness and tackling, but the aggression and engagement are there. On the ball, he's all right as a fullback, and the low and lofted pass are okay as a fullback. It's just a shame he's not got pinpoint crossing. So yeah, really, what you've got here, if you look at it in isolation, it's a solid right back. I think the balance is a bit lacking. I'd like pinpoint crossing, but outside of that, as an attacking right back, is a decent card. But the disappointment for me with this card is just the fact that there have been so many versions of Llorente, and if you've got any previous version of Llorente that can be trained, you don't need this one. It's just one of those cards. Is it good? Yeah, it's quite good, but do you need it? For a lot of us, probably not. So if you don't have a good version of Llorente, if you get this card, I think you've got yourself a card that, yes, is versatile on the face of it, but essentially is just a right back. It is a decent one, so it probably would be worth having, but if you've already got a decent version of Llorente, I just don't think you really need it, to be honest. Next, we have another hat-trick hero. So we've got Madueke from Chelsea. He clearly does not have a face scan. That needs sorting out. I imagine they'll sort his face scan out pretty soon because that's horrendous. I'm going to hide that. Don't even want to look at it. But yeah, Madueke. So, prolific winger, right winger. He's a left footer, so he's going to play as an inverted winger. They put his weaker foot up slightly. That's up to very high. There's been one previous highlight card of Madueke that was in one of those legend boxes. That went up to 94. This one's 93, so one lower, but when you get the A form maximum boost, it goes to 95. So on the whole, pretty similar to that previous one. The main difference in terms of the attributes is that this one's got much better finishing. It's had a nice boost to its finishing. That other one from the legend box is a bit better off for acceleration and balance. So pretty similar on the whole. Just a few attributes slightly different. But yeah, from his GP card, this is on the whole a pretty nice boost. Some weird ones though. It's one of these cards. So we got a winger and who's in a player of the week pack, but compared to his GP card, dribbling is down by 1. Speed is down by 1. Acceleration is down by 6. Balance is down by 4. Why? Why do they do this? Like I say though, finishing has had a really nice boost up to 80. That's 14 higher than his GP card goes to with auto allocation. So yeah, on the whole, a nice boost from his GP card, but as I mentioned, there's a bunch of attributes that have been reduced slightly, and I just don't understand why. But yeah, it is nonetheless a pretty nice version of Madueke. He's pretty tidy on the ball. The finishing especially is good. The passing's not brilliant. Don't ask too much from with his passing. Still got decent pace, even though his acceleration is down a bit, and the balance likewise still decent, but normally higher. Don't understand why they've done that, but it is a booster as I mentioned, and with the boost, we get the boost on kicking power, which is nice. Physical contact, so that's going past 70 with the game plan boost. It's a nice little bonus on a winger. Ball controls up to 88, so that's going up to the 90 mark with the game plan boost. And finishing goes even higher. So yeah, it's a pretty nice looking card this. If we look at the skills, I'm not sure what they've changed compared to his GP card, to be honest. It looks pretty similar. I don't know, I'm just looking now. Have they changed anything? They've taken away Scotch move. And they've given him long range curler. I think that's it. That's all I can see, yeah. So long range curler in for Scotch move. I think that's a pretty good trade. So a bunch of skill moves there for the dribblers. You'll like that if you're a dribbler. Soul control as well. And long range curler as well as first time shot. Going with his finishing attribute being in the 80s, that's good. Pinpoint crossing. I mean, he's not going to be great at crossing, let's be honest. 71 lofted pass. A left foot on the right hand side as well. I don't think crossing's really going to come into it. But with the shooting skills and his finishing being there, it's obvious what this guy's going to be good at. His pace, some decent ability on the ball. Albeit tight possession is a bit on the low side, you will notice that, but he will be pretty good on the ball on the whole, and cutting aside into his left foot, hitting shots, can be pretty tidy. I think that attacking runs away at 80 with the game plan boost as well. So yeah, it's a pretty good version of Madueke. It's frustrating, as I mentioned, that some of the attributes have been nerfed a bit compared to his GP card. It doesn't make sense to me, but I think it's just a case of, like with a lot of the cards they've been putting in Player League for a while now, they just want to make sure they don't make the cards too good, because they've got to keep the emphasis on the cards in those legend boxes and the Showtime boxes, and make sure that the cards that really make the money are the ones that really have the most appeal. So they've got to do what they've got to do to I guess nerf these cards a little bit, but it's frustrating. But yeah, on the whole, as an inverted winger playing on the right, I think if that kind of player suits your system, your formation, it's a pretty good card, especially with the A form boost. So yeah, pace, technically pretty tidy, good finishing. There are some downsides though. Tight possession is a bit low. He's not great with his passing or his crossing. So yeah, some flaws there. It's not an elite level card, but he does have some strengths. He does have some really good qualities there. So if the qualities he's got suit you, and if you use him to his strengths, it certainly could be a very effective card. But I really hope they give him a face scan, because that's pretty horrendous. Now we have a very rare sight. We've got a featured version of Kubo. I don't think we've seen a single version of Kubo before, have we? Oh wait, yes we have. We've seen about 5,000. So yet another Kubo. I won't complain. I mean, it's not particularly exciting when you've seen a player so many times, especially when he's got the same positions as usual, the same playing style. Have they really changed much? Not really. Compared to previous versions, we've had a 95 Showtime, we've had a couple of 94s, so it's certainly not the best version of Kubo we've had, but yeah, unwavering form is good. Decent pace, decent balance. He's very good on the ball, obviously. Low enough to pass will just about hit the 80 mark with the game plan boost, and finishing's already in the 80s. Compared to his GP card, his speed's down by 1, his kicking power's down by 1, his balance is down by 2, his stamina's down by 3, his attacking awareness is down by 1, his tight possession's down by 2. Apart from that, his finishing's had a nice boost, and so is acceleration. So yeah, like with Madueke, why they slightly decrease some of his attributes, especially key ones for a winger, beats me. But they boosted 1 or 2, like I say. He's had a nice enough boost on the whole compared to his GP card, especially with the acceleration and the finishing. So there are some improvements there. It is a good card on the whole. Looking at his skills, just comparing his skills now to his base card, I'm not sure they've changed anything. I'm looking now on eFootball Hub and I'm not sure there's anything different, is there? Cut behind, soul control, long range drive. Nope, he's already a super sub. So they've given us a player of the week, Kubo, because he was a super sub, but he's already a super sub. So nothing's changed with his skills. He's got the passing skills, but his passing is not brilliant. I wouldn't play this version of Kubo through the middle because I don't think his passing is good enough. As an SS, maybe just off the attack. You could certainly do a job there, I think. I wouldn't play him attacking mid though, without his passing attributes being better. I think wide right is where he's going to be best. He's got decent pace, certainly with acceleration, getting a nice boost. He's going to be very tidy on the ball. And he can shoot, so similar to Madueke, it is a left foot playing on the right hand side, cutting aside onto his left foot. He's got the shooting ability, long range curler. So with the finishing in the 80s, curler in the 80s, kicking power in the 80s, long range curler, he's going to have a very nice long range curler on him. He's going to feel very nice in the ball. He's got a pretty low center of gravity. So yeah, ultimately, it's a fairly nice version of Kubo, but it's not the best version we've had. They've not really changed much. It's not a particularly interesting version. I don't think we particularly needed another version of Kubo, but if you don't have a good version of him, he is a good one to have. Like I say, he's quick, he's nimble, he feels nice on the ball. He's certainly got the ability to score goals for you. So yeah, if you've not got a good version of him, it'll be a good one to pick up, but certainly not one of the more interesting cards in Player of the Week. And this is another card that has been in Player of the Week before, but he's only been in Player of the Week once before, Barcola. It was 92 rated, so not quite as good as this one, and that's before the boost. He does have a boost, this one. He's been in one of those legend boxes as well, and that was a similar card to this one. But yeah, outside of that, it's a good boost from his GP card. Again though, if you look at his attributes compared to his GP card, ball control is down by 5, tight possession is down by 5 as well, balance is down by 5. What are they doing? Acceleration and kicking power down by 1. But like I say, on the whole, it is a nice boost from his GP card. So where does he get the boost? Passing, nice boost. Finishing, nice boost. Speed and stamina, nice boost. So some good, some bad with the attributes. On the whole, it is a nice boost. Again, it's frustrating. They reduce some of them. I don't think that makes sense. It's annoying, but it is what it is. They have boosted some of them. So he is a nice boost from his GP card on the whole. Have they done much with his skills? We'll look at his boost in a second as well. So, looking at his skills compared to his GP card, what have they changed? Absolutely nothing. Okay, so nothing's changed there. We've got long range curler. That's an important one if you play him as in his registered position as a left wing forward, right footer. So an inverted winger, similar to Kubo and Madueke, but obviously it's on the other side of the pitch. Long range curler, dipping shot, acrobatic finishing, first time shot as well, so that's good. He's going to be well capable of taking chances for you with his finishing at 80 before the game plan boost as well. He's got the shooting skills. Heel trick's a nice one to have. He's got a few skill moves for the dribblers, but nothing for his passing, and his passing attributes aren't brilliant, so don't ask too much with his passing. But he's going to be pretty tight on the ball, even though they've nerfed his ball control for some strange reason. He's great at dribbling, he's got good pace, good attacking awareness, the finishing is good. Balance though, that's a bit of a shame. Balance only 72, as I mentioned, they've nerfed that balance a bit. Don't understand why they do that, but that's just what they like to do with these cards for some reason. They like to take some of his key stats and make them worse when they've played really well. But yeah, it's another inverted winger. You could play him on the right, but he can't cross it. He's a right footer. You could play him as a striker, but his attacking awareness and his finishing aren't high enough in my opinion, so he's definitely going to be best in his registered position on the left, cutting onto his right foot. Got that shooting ability, some pace, some dribbling. It's a pretty nice card on the whole. It's just frustrating with the attributes that they've reduced compared to his GP card. Really frustrating, but he does have strengths there. If you play into his strengths as an inverted winger coming off the left flank, it could be a pretty tidy card. And before I forget, he does have that boost. So with the boost, more pace. 94 and 90 on his speed and acceleration. So good pace there, really good pace. Stamina goes up to 86, so that's good. Certainly compared to his GP card, a big boost there. And the most exciting thing of all, if you get this guy on A form, and if you get the maximum boost, his balance goes so high that it's almost as good as his GP card. Wow! Yeah, it's a good card. Some frustrations there. I'm not going to rant any more about it, but yeah. He's a good card in the whole. I don't think he's an elite level card. Be careful with his passing, but with the pace, the dribbling, his finishing ability, as an inverted winger, left wing cutting in onto his right foot, could be a very effective card. But I don't know what they're doing with some of these attributes. But yeah. And before I forget, he does have a face scan. He got that quite recently. So yeah, lots of strengths there. Playing to his strengths can be a pretty good card. Just some of those attributes should have been a bit higher in my opinion. Now things are getting interesting. So as always, we're running through these players, starting with the lower rated ones, and we're getting up to the higher rated ones now. We've got Christian Romero, and this is a really good card. So is a booster again. Obviously he's got a face scan. As you can see there, only one of the defensive attributes below 90, but when you get your game plan boost, they're all going over 90. He's had a nice boost to his pace. He's a nice boost to his stamina as well. Interestingly, his aggression is 6 down from his GP card. The other defensives are down by 1 or 2 as well. So they've actually nerfed him defensively a bit, but they're still really good defensive attributes. But like I say though, the pace and the stamina have been boosted nicely. The physical contact and jumping, you're going to get to about the 90 mark or so with your game plan boost. So he's got all the strength he needs really as a centre-back. Down the left, he's not brilliant. There was a previous Player of the Week card that was a bit better down the left-hand side. He had a few in the 70s there. I think I've got that one. I think that's the one I've got. But elsewhere, he's a little bit better. On the whole, this is a good version of Romero. There's one in the Argentina pack. It might be the current Argentina pack that goes to 95. And that's pretty similar to this one. Slightly better, in fact, but pretty similar. Been loads of other versions of Romero, though, that range between 91 and 94. But this is one of the better ones, like I say. This is a good card for me. They've not changed anything with his skills. He's got the usual skills. So aerial, you've got heading and aerial superiority, and then on the ground, interception, blocker, man marking, sliding tackle, acrobatic clearance, fighting spirit, captaincy. That's a pretty complete set of skills for a centre-back. But like I say, the one thing we need to look at is the booster, and it makes him a physical monster. So jumping 92, physical 90, heading goes to 95, his finishing goes to 67. Happy days. But yeah, most importantly, in the air and physically very strong, and this is all before the game plan boost. So speed is going to hit 80 with the game plan boost, the acceleration is into the 70s. He's physically a beast. He's got a nice boost in his stamina. All the defenses are going into the 90s. This is a really good strong centre-back card. This guy, even when he's not on A form, is a really good card. But especially when this guy gets A form, I think this guy's great. If you like a destroyer centre-back, just as an absolute thug in the middle of your defence, blocking everything, winning the ball for you, winning headers, I think this is a really, really good, strong card. So even for me, I got a previous Player of the Week card, as I mentioned, which is a really good one. This one's slightly better. So if I get this one, I'm going to release my old one. I think I think for a lot of people, this would be a really good card to pick up. I think the only people who wouldn't be happy to get this guy would probably be Arsenal fans, to be honest. But yeah, I don't think more needs saying about this. He's had a nice boost of speed and stamina. He's really strong in all the important areas with the defensives and the physical and the aerial. This is just a really good, strong centre-back card. This is one of the picks of this pack for me. It's a really good card. And Erling is back. So, another Erling Haaland card. Goal poacher this time. Normally a fox in the box. They've made him a goal poacher. 97 rated. We've had a 98 rated showtime. We've had 2 99 rated showtimes. We've had a bunch of 97s, sometimes with a booster. So not the best version of Haaland we've had, but it's certainly a good one. It's always going to be a good one with Haaland. What have they done with him? Apart from changing his playstyle from fox in the box to goal poacher, they've nerfed his dexterity. So they've taken a few points away from his attacking awareness, his acceleration, and his balance, for absolutely no logical reason whatsoever, except to make sure it's not as good as the paid ones from the Showtime boxes, I guess. But yeah, it's still a great version of Haaland though. Unwavering form. He's got really good pace, especially for a big physical guy. He's got amazing physical contact. The kicking power is fantastic. Good stamina. Attack awareness is still fantastic. Likewise, the finishing. He still honks on the ball. He always does. That's the downside with Haaland. When you get on the ball with this guy, you just press the shoot button. You don't want to do anything else because he's just going to be clumsy and fall all over himself. He's got terrible balance as well. But yeah, have they done anything with the skills? I don't think they have. I'm looking on eFootball Hub now. Is anything changed? Heading, chip shots. Have they changed anything? No. Don't think they have. No. It's just another Erling Haaland. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm comparing them to the exact same version of him on eFootball Hub because I'm an idiot. So heading, chip shots, long range and rising shots, acrobatic finishing, heel trick, first time shot. Yeah, they've added one touch pass instead of super sub. So that's an interesting trade-off. If you like having Haaland as a super sub on the bench, this won't be the version that you want. But one touch pass does help with the fact that his passing sucks, and especially his balance, because that comes into that balance comes into the equation with first time shots and passes. So one touch pass definitely will help, but super sub is gone. That's a bit of a miss. So yeah, he's got qualities as always. It's just another Haaland at the end of the day. It's not a great deal you need to say. We've all tried some version of Haaland by now. Is it going to be massively different to anything you've tried before? No. Is it annoying that they've nerfed all three of his dexterity attributes? Yes. But if you don't have a good version of Haaland, is it worth having? Yes, especially for the English League Challenge. I don't personally like him. I don't like him on the ball. He's a bit OP, but yeah, with unwavering form, one touch pass being added, albeit at the expense of super sub, and the fact he's got the strengths he always has, even if they've nerfed a few of them. It's a good version of Haaland. It's not the best version by any means, but it's still a good version. If you don't have a good version, if you want one, it'd be a fantastic card for you to pick up, especially for that English League Challenge. So yeah, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's just another Haaland, but this time it's a goal poacher. And like I say, one touch pass instead of super sub. It's a good card. What more needs saying? And we finish up with a very interesting card. So we've got Kvaratskhelia, whole player, attacking midfield. Very interesting. I didn't think he necessarily played that position in the game. He seemed like he was playing mainly his normal role, but he did have quite a bit of freedom. Certainly had a fantastic game. Beautiful pass to set up Di Lorenzo. If you didn't see that goal, well worth checking out. Jump on the Serie A YouTube channel. Di Lorenzo's goal was a brilliant team move. And yeah, Kvaratskhelia was great in that game. So unwavering form, two-footed. He's got great pace as always. Pretty good balance. Great on the ball. Attacking rates at 80. Low enough to pass at 80, finishing 83. What they've done compared to his usual card. So his balance, his dribbling, tight possession, all slightly down, but his passing and finishing have had a really nice boost, and that's really important, especially if he uses guys as an attacking midfielder. So his end product with his passing and shooting will be better. What else have they done? It's interesting. They've added attacking midfield. They've also made him semi-proficient as an SS and a centre midfielder on a card that you can't train. So that's completely useless. Thanks for that, Konami. But they have at least made him attacking midfielder, so that's interesting. So you can still use him as a winger like he normally is. Could use him on the right. The fact he's got 80 lofted pass now, he doesn't have pinpoint crossing though, but 80 lofted pass, play him on the right hand side as the right footer. You could get away with that, put some half decent crosses in, but I think that's a bit of a waste. I think he's definitely at his best playing either off the left flank. Bear in mind, he will not have an active playing style as a whole player. That won't be an active playing style as a wide forward. So either left or right as a forward, he will be playing without an active playing style. But yeah, like I say, on the left, I think he could be very effective. Probably most effective still there, even with no active playing style, with the pace, the dribbling, a bit of end product, coming inside into his right foot and getting shots away. He's got long range shooting, he's got long range curler, dipping shot. They have added one touch pass and through passing, so as an attacking midfielder with one touch pass and through passing, he certainly could do a job there. But for me personally, 80 for a low pass is not high enough in that position. In that position as an attacking midfielder, low pass is so important, and 80 is not good enough, even though they've added one touch pass and through passing. So you could get away with it if you just like to dribble and just work your way into shooting positions from attacking midfield. Then yeah, sure, it could be great, especially as a whole player. Got 80 attacking players as a whole player. He will be making good runs into attacking positions. So if you put the emphasis on getting him into shooting positions, for sure he could do a job as an attacking mid. But for me personally, the low pass is too low. I'll be looking at this guy still as a left winger without an active playing style, with the pace, the dribbling, and just with more end product than he's normally got. So cutting inside from that left flank, not just shooting, but with the passing now as well, especially with one touch pass and through passing being added. He's a very interesting version of Kvaratskhelia. I don't think much more needs saying. I think any player of the week version of Kvaratskhelia is going to be a good one. We've had a bunch of versions in the past, for sure. We've had some slightly better ones, but the fact you can use him as an attacking mid with a whole player playing style, it does make him slightly different. Just for me, the one slight downside is that I don't think he's well suited to that position without his low pass being better, but you could certainly get away with it. Like I say, it depends how you use him. If you're not too worried about the passing, then he could be fantastic in that position, dribbling past players, getting into, not just running forward on the ball, but off the ball with a whole player playing style. Could be a really interesting option as an attacking midfielder. Certainly he's still great at dribbling. He's just got that added extra end product compared to what he normally does. So yeah, if you like Kvaratskhelia, if you like dribblers, whether you use him as an attacking mid or wide left. I think this could be a really, really fun card to pick up. I'll be quite keen to try this guy out as an attacking mid, to be honest, if I get him. I'm not sure the passing is going to quite cut it there, but even if I end up using him as a left winger, I think it could be a really fun version of Kvaratskhelia to have. So yeah, it's a fun card. I think for a lot of people, this might be the pick of the pack, but yeah, whichever way you look at it, it's another good version of Kvaratskhelia. If you don't have one already, I think it could be well worth picking up. And of course, he's got his face scan there, so yeah, it's another good card. It's a good Kvaratskhelia, that one. I can't say his name, can I? An interesting card. So, I think again, the word I'd have to use for this selection is interesting. It's been a while since I described the Player of the Week selection as being a particularly good one, and I don't think this one's a particularly good one, but it's better than some of the ones we've had in recent weeks and in recent months. I think you've got an alright centre midfielder in Fred. I think Milinković-Savić, as I mentioned, I somewhat tongue-in-cheek, I think his beard is the main reason to want him, to be honest. I don't think he's that brilliant a keeper. You certainly could do worse. I think, again, with this card, the one thing you've got to keep in mind with Milinković-Savić, Italian League Challenge. There will be weeks for the Italian League Challenge where you might not have a goalkeeper on form, so he might be worth keeping just for that, even though he's not a brilliant keeper. But he's certainly very tall and reachy. He's got great coverage of his goal, and again, great beard. Galeno, for practical reasons, not a brilliant card to have, but as a fun option, and certainly, like I say, if you have him on your bench and you need a goal in the second half, putting him on at left back as a very attacking left back, doubling up with your left winger, could be an interesting one to have. Could certainly be a fun card to have. Endrick, a lot of people are going to be very keen to pick up the first feature version of Endrick, but like I say, even though they've given him a nice boost, even though I think he's got a better play style now, that attacking awareness especially is too low for me, so there will be better versions of Endrick. Llorente, you don't have a good version of him already and you want one that you can use as a right back, good card. If you've got a good version already, don't need it. Madueke needs a face scan, but it's a pretty tidy card as an inverted wing on the right hand side, similar to Kubo, cutting inside into his left foot, getting shots away, could be very effective. Same with both these cards, but I think a lot of us have got a good version of Kubo by now. If you've got a good version of Kubo, you might not need this one. We've had that many versions of him. I don't think they really needed to put him in Player of the Week, especially since he's already got the super sub skill, and that was all he really did. Just came off the bench and scored. Barcola, again, another inverted winger, decent. Could he be better? Yes, but he's got some qualities, especially with the A form boost. So it's a nice version of Barcola. It could be a fun card for a lot of people. I think these three, though, the three highest rated ones are clearly the best ones in the pack. Romero, for me, is a really, really good, strong, solid destroyer centre-back. I don't think many people will complain if they get that card. Haaland, we didn't really need another Haaland, but if anyone's not got one and they get him, you'll be very pleased to get that version of him because it's another good Haaland. It's not the best by any means, but it's Haaland, and it is what it is. He's a great striker. And then you've got a very interesting Kvaratskhelia there. I don't think we've had one previously that you can play as an attacking mid, albeit you can position train most previous versions of him. But you can play him attacking mid. He's a whole player. He's got the one-touch pass and through passing skills added, and his passing and shooting is better. So it's a very interesting version of Kvaratskhelia, that one. But even if you don't use him as an attacking mid, it's a good version if you use him in his regular position as a left winger. So yeah, there are some good cards in there. There are some that aren't particularly interesting. I think it's a decent enough selection on the whole. So yeah, there you go. And as always, or as I've been doing recently, you're going to get some bonus content. I'll do my free spin. I don't really see anyone in that pack that I'm particularly desperate to get. But if it's a 5-star, then at least I'll get myself another 10-day contract renewal that I go towards my free spins with the update. So, who are we going to get? Is it Kubo again? I've got another Kubo. Happy days. Didn't really need him. I've already got a good version, but yeah, there we go. I'll either release this one or the old one, so it's another 10-day contract renewal. Whoopie-doo. Cheers, Konami. So there's your Player of the Week selection for this week. Hope you found this interesting. Let me know who you spun. Let me know who you want to spin. I will be doing another live stream either this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon. I think certainly tomorrow afternoon. What I might do with the live stream, I might do a little live stream where maybe we try and predict the free legends we're going to get in that pack we're getting with the update. Maybe we'll look through all the previously released epics and see if we can do some kind of tier list. Maybe we can rank them by how likely they are to be included. That could be a bit of fun. So yeah, watch out for that. I'll be posting on the Discord to let you know when I'm going to stream. So keep your eyes on the Discord. If you're not joined the Discord, the link will be somewhere. I'll put it in the description. So jump in the Discord if you're on there. And yeah, I'll be doing a review of those Corinthians players. And I will also do a review of the free legends that we might be getting. There's Denilson, Roberto Carlos, Cafu, Van der Vaart and Stoichkov. I'll do a video reviewing those guys as well, because those are free ones. So yeah, watch out for those videos, watch out for the live streams, and yeah, cheers for watching as always. Hope you found this helpful. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.